All right, what's up? Kind of just want to have a chill conversation, chill video, very candid and genuine about just talking about retirement in esports. I don't know, for those of you who probably watch my channel, you guys probably know me from Overwatch, and the esports scene in Overwatch is declining. Like, so many players retiring and retiring so young, right? A lot of guys stepping away from competitive play for whatever reason. And being in that environment, I totally get it. I totally get why you'd want to step away from competitive play. I've actually stepped away from competitive play for a number of reasons, but just kind of want to talk about that in this video because it's a rising topic and it's a concern that should be on a lot of people's minds, especially those that are part of the industry. For like guys that are between the ages of 18 to 20, stepping away from competitive play, stepping away from this dream, this passion that they made so many sacrifices to actually achieve it. If they're stepping away from that, there's something wrong, right? And it needs to be addressed and something needs to be talked about. And it's even affecting the industry as a whole, as the industry's growing, because if you have these like players that are stepping away from competitive play and you have all these young guys that want to be in those positions, that are looking up to these role models, these existing pro players, and watching them step away from that environment, you think to yourself, well, like, why would I actually go for that? Why would I actually do that myself? And you see all these careers like super short-lived. And I remember seeing Mark Cuban like very hesitant on investing into esports, and I'm pretty sure he actually made the decision not to invest because of this exact reason, because of burnout. I'll probably link the article. I'll try to find it, but I know for a fact that Mark Cuban said he doesn't want to invest because of the fact that burnout is a real thing. And when you think about players retiring, burnout is the exact driving force. And what is exactly burnout in esports? You pretty much lose that fire to compete. You lose that energy, you lose that fuel, you lose the passion to actually, compete and play. And, you see it in traditional sports and things like that. But when I look at traditional sports, there's guys stepping away from competitive play because they're either just out of commission because of injury or because of age. Or because, they probably just have a loss of passion for it. But the numbers in traditional sports of people retiring, of people stepping away from that environment, is nothing compared to the numbers in esports. And that's just something that needs to be talked about. But anyways, I want to talk about two main driving forces that cause burnout, which actually leads to them retiring. And number one being, there's just absolutely no work-life balance in esports. Even when I was in that environment, I was expected to play about 6 hours of scrims. And then because you're in competition, you have to play more than what you're expected to, because there's always that younger guy fighting for your spot. There's always that guy that wants it more. And if you're not putting in those extra hours, you're going to fall away. You're going to fall apart. You're eventually going to be pushed to the side for somebody coming in that's a lot better, that's a lot more motivated, that has a lot more passion. So again, I know my teammates and even myself, we were putting in like 8 to 10 hours a day, and we had a part in our contract where we had to stream, and we were expected to stream 25 hours a month. But, when you look at it on the surface level, it doesn't seem too much because you can, stream an hour a day. But when you are scrimming 6 hours a day and you're putting absolutely everything into those scrim blocks and into that practice schedule, and then you're expected to play another 2 to 4 hours after that on your own and stream and entertain an audience and build your brand and do all these interviews and put yourself out in the media and making sure you're watching what you say, because something can be taken the wrong way. And, it's just like so many expectations on young guys, like even myself, because I was 16, 17 when I was in that environment. It was tough. Gaming went from being my escape to being my full-time career, having all this spotlight on me, being involved in all this media, which is crazy. It's a crazy turnover. It's like a complete 180. And a lot of these guys, even myself, we did not have the proper mentorship. We did not have people with us to walk us through that journey. Even though the team that I was with, we had a sports psychologist. His name was Dr. Doug Gardner. You guys can search him up. He really helped us like through that environment. And I remember having like multiple one-on-one conversations with him, but it's still not enough. You need more resources, and these organizations need to be helping these players understand how to avoid burnout, how to actually pace themselves the right way. Second driving force that I want to talk about is a lot of gamers in the competitive scene, even myself, finding our identity in our performance. Like our identity and our performance are linked together completely. And I think it has a lot to do with what led you to playing games. Well, to me, I believe, like, speaking on my own behalf, I sat in front of a monitor playing 8 to 10 hours a day because it was an escape for me. It was an escape from reality. It was just what I did. It was my drug. It was my coping mechanism to just life. And I think when you use gaming as an escape, when you have something as an escape and you find fulfillment, you find satisfaction in that, it's so easy to attach your identity to that thing. It's so easy to entangle and find yourself in that career, in that thing, because that's where you're winning in life. That's where you're finding success. That's where you're finding fulfillment. That's where you're finding your satisfaction. And honestly, I don't blame people that do that. I don't even blame myself. It was almost inevitable, especially being so young, like 15, 16. Yeah, it was so easy. Like, who are you? Oh yeah, my name's Stefano and I'm a pro gamer. Like that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. That's because I heavily found myself in that. And when I say having your identity so tied into your performance, I mean, like, if I was on it that day, if I was playing really well in scrims, or if I had a good, like, official match, I felt on top of the world. I felt so good. But if I didn't, then I felt like crap. I felt like I was in the dirt. I felt like, oh man, I'm like slipping into this depression state, because who I was the way I was performing, the way I was playing in game. Like that was me. That was where I saw myself. And I know for a fact I am not the only professional player, only retired professional player that has dealt with that, or that is still dealing with that now. I kind of wanted to open it up for discussion to you guys. Like, hit me up in the comments, DM me, whatever. Let's chat about this. This is like a topic that needs to be spoken about. This is something that needs to be addressed. And yeah, just kind of speaking from my own experience, my own journey through esports. I'm not heavily involved in it now, but I feel like making these videos and speaking on my experiences, me doing my part. Everybody needs to step up with this. Like, I need to step up. People that have been in the professional scene that are not in it now need to step up. Use your experience, use your expertise, use your ideas and your observations and put them out into the world and share them. Because if we don't fix this problem, like the tier 2 scene, the amateur scene, it's going to suffer. There's going to be no players that are up and coming. There's going to be no secondary tier 2 scene in esports, and it's just going to hurt the industry. It's just going to stop people from investing in esports, and it's just going to diminish what is so amazing and what's so good that's going on right now. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. Take it as you will. Hit me up in the comments. GG's in the chat. I'll see you guys later.